All right. Good evening, everybody in YouTube land, Facebook land, my meetup communities. Everybody who's here, you're very welcome. I'm excited to see you and I'm excited to be seen and heard by you. We're just going to jump right into this and move on. So, today, today's masterclass is a webinar for you and for me. It's Awaken Your Reality. That's what the topic is today, and let's jump in. In this webinar, we will discuss the secret to creating the awakened reality that you truly desire. We're going to look at 3 key points that affect your ability to manifest. These 3 manifesting states of consciousness are the secrets that you need to embrace to finally stop the cycle of doubt and create the life that you desire. Before we go too deep, you probably want to know a little bit about me in case this is our first time meeting. So my name is Anthony Cortino, and a little bit about me, I'm a spiritual empowerment coach and Reiki master with over 22 years experience as a light worker and healer. And you're going to hear a little bit more as we go along what that actually entails. Now, specifically, for the last 6 years, I have worked with people going through divorce, emotional trauma from loss and betrayal, business owners struggling to live an inspired, sacred life while dealing with the crushing weight of the physical world, keeping them scared to change, terrified to stay stuck, instead turn their manifested reality into a gift, leading them and their family forward to a life of joy and surrender. So I started coaching professionally about 6 years ago, but my path to spiritual mentorship and leadership has been a part of my life since I was very young. I started my spiritual path, and well, I did this after my mother divorced and then remarried. You see, I was the one that woke up the house, got my parents to drive me to church choir and youth ministry. In fact, I remember being in the 5th grade, and there I am. My first dream job was not about movies or singing or making money in business. I was destined to be a minister. There was nothing more exciting to me than living a life as a man of faith. Then something happened. At 14, I'm out down the street waiting to talk to this girl I had a really big crush on. And it took about 30 minutes for her mom to let her come out and talk to me. And right as she did, I had this overwhelming sense of fear and dread. And even though I'd waited 30 minutes for her to come outside, I had to say, I'm sorry. I need to go home. And I was on my rollerblades at the time, and I just ran home as fast as possible. And I walked into the house. I found my mother on the floor with a bottle of pills. Now, sometime later, after doing whatever I needed to do to get my mother to be awake and to empty her stomach, she mumbled to me, "He left me." So in that moment, my reality, my identity as a man, what men are, what men do to women, my faith in the world that I believed I lived in was forever altered. After that, I was depressed and confused. I threw away my books on the lost years of Jesus and the law of attraction books like Excuse Me, My Life is Waiting. It was all garbage to me all of a sudden. Now, as time goes by, my journey kept leading me back to other books, finding the answers and teachings of metaphysics, universal energies. In fact, my first training as a teenager was the full course training in person of the Silva Mind Control Method by Joe Silva. Now, in this program, I learned the power of visualization and specifically the brain frequencies to pray and manifest in. Yeah, crazy stuff down in McAllen, Texas. Right? I experienced also several dark nights of the soul moving forward in my life, unhealthy attachments in relationships, crisis of the identity and spirit at every critical change in my life. And I see these changes in the histories of my client's life. When we go through the growth pains, there's a stage when we realize some things are different. We always realize at a certain point of our teenage years that our parents are full of crap, right? Then we go off to school, get the job. Then we learn halfway into our career that we absolutely hate it. And yet the whole world tells us that we have to do it anyway because of all the time and effort spent. Again, not so much today's generation. It's more fluid. But if you were my generation, you were doomed if you changed your career at all, right? All that mattered was if you put the effort in, then you have to stay with what you're doing or else something's wrong with you, right? You must not have been able to hack it. Yeah, that didn't work for me either. So regardless of the world rejecting me for my beliefs and my own suppression of my personal walk in faith, I still continued searching. I even went on and still created communities in the church as youth minister, as the youth men's leader over the Dallas Metroplex in a Buddhist community where I trained, nurtured, introduced, and supported over 20 new members in this Buddhist organization. I also was going and supporting at the local chapter levels, leading several hours weekly in homes and in the community, just trying to find my place in all of it. By the way, I was also chasing my daughter around the state during this exact same time. Followed by yet again another dark night of the soul and years of suffering alone. I even eventually graduated to a men's organization to face my shadows and my shame. And I was a leader again, almost overnight. Each time I learned that I was still not happy, regardless of all of these efforts of serving, volunteering, changing my karma, taking care of everyone else. Something had to change because I was not happy, even after rising to leadership, even after learning the language and the rules. There was always an explanation from all of my leadership to answer why I wasn't happy. And it was some kind of still suppression was required. Or I had to accept that I really wasn't supposed to be happy. I was supposed to sit with it and accept it and not actually make any changes about it. Because heaven forbid anyone get upset by me being happy. No, 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 no. I have never been in an organization that actually promoted it in actual, practical ways to actually get happy. There's way too many rules in all of them. Something had to change. Finally, I realized that no validation from outside sources of myself, from a community, from people, or a partner was ever going to fulfill me. The responsibility to create my happiness and walk in faith was on my shoulders alone. So it was time for me to remember who I really was. A creator. So as a creator, I then changed my beliefs and relationship with money. I got confidence in my happiness, which was so transformational that people either did not recognize me or some rejected me for my beliefs. But this time, that didn't matter to me. I was going to stay awake, even though I did lose some relationships that I thought were so important to me that I wasn't willing to let them go. There was no turning back for me. I cannot unlearn what I now know and believe. So, back to my 3 key points. I had to do something different this time. I had 6 awakenings in my life that I eventually rejected. As a creator, I came to have a new awareness. One that was so huge that I could not bear the responsibility of knowing it. We will come back to that next. But first, here are the 3 creator states. Number 1 is the asleep state of creation consciousness. If you are not aware that you create your reality, then you will create by default. Now, this is the majority of the population that goes through life on autopilot, allowing their ego to rule. And run their lives with unconscious programming, spiritual bypassing, and spiritual materialism. This state is all about scarcity, lack, and limitation. Now, the second state is the awake creator consciousness. In the awake state, when you're aware that you create your reality, then you create by design. This is a small minority of the population, and they go through life with intention, making choices based on their spiritual practices, principles, and values. However, these numbers are growing rapidly since the pandemic created a space that forced us to stop taking some of the same actions every single day. People either broke down or broke through, because a lot of us had no one else to look at but our partner or the mirror. And that's when the magic happened. So that's what happens when we're awake. This state is all about personal empowerment, spiritual connection, and conscious creation. And the third creator consciousness state, being. If you're aware that we are all one and that we create reality together, then you will create by divine will. It's no longer a question. It's a fact. This is a rare state of consciousness, and those in this state are here to help humanity remember our true spiritual nature. This state is all about global transformation, spiritually awakened leadership, and service to humanity. Not just one or two communities, by the way. It's everybody or nobody. So if you have not figured out the one huge awareness that I did not want to remember and could never forget again once I finally accepted it, it was this. You see, I, with my memories of how resistant I was to going for my happiness just because I cared about others' opinions of me, because I believed that if they said I didn't love or care about them, that I had to prove to them that I did, even though it meant I had to deny anything and everything I wanted. Because guess what? When I gave all of my partners exactly what they asked for and wanted, since they were not taking care of themselves, they were still never happy. They still all left me. They still all betrayed me. So whose fault was that? Probably needed to realize that was all on me. I had also felt the enormous freedom and the liberation created and manifested many times in my life. I had known who I truly was, born to be, and I had inspired others to believe in more than what their eyes were showing them. I had to finally accept this one thing. I created it all. Nobody else. Just me. See, every moment, every pain and wound I manifested, all the tears of trauma and the tears of joy. I created every failure and success and every lover and their betrayal. Hear me out. If I am responsible for all of my empowerment and all of my disempowerment, all my faith and all my disbelief, Ask yourself the same question that I had to. How can I change the outcome this time? How can I stay awake? How can I navigate this 3D world from a place of sacredness and faith? Well, there was a solution. I found it. I found it for me and for others. I mapped out the 3 creator states of consciousness, 9 steps on the sacred intimacy path to get awake and stay awake. The manual of which tools we use to keep from falling asleep and reject the illusion of reality, and the knowing of what tools we need to throw away, since that they are no longer serving us when we're in our higher vibrational states. The conscious leadership mantras to manage the increased speed that you are manifesting with your new momentum, and helps you transition from asleep, awake, to being with confidence, mastery, to pivot and turn the other cheek. When you implement this routine into your life, your relationships will transform around you. You magnetize your life, pulling in new people and experience. Your mindset around money shifts and goes abundant, and money just shows up. You stop consuming and regurgitating reality, and you start being your new self. You command your happiness with your confidence to do your emotional regulation on command. And the past is let go and stays gone. You awaken to your true reality. Now, what choices are left to make? When you face conflict in the 3D world, you can still use action and extreme effort to resist a different path until you burn out, like you normally do. The path of least resistance is to stay asleep and go through the motions, because it is what you have always done, and it's just easy by now. You can stay asleep, you can become awake, or you can choose to be. You have a choice to make. If you know you are a creator, but you are slow to manifest, and you do not get the desired manifested dreams, if you have struggled to create a better reality, if you want to change your life and create a new reality, then you need to become a master of your creation. Choose to create with tools that serve you. Drop the tools that keep you asleep. Surrender to the truth of your worthiness. Here is a path that will work if you apply it. The Sacred Intimacy Path to Awaken Your Reality course is now a group experience and digital course. Starting now, we are enrolling groups of men, groups of women, for 6 weeks of live, interactive, facilitated manifesting sessions to plan, practice with the new tools, and support you in creating a new reality of your choosing. Each group is limited to guarantee quality over quantity and to get fast results. This is only the start. Included in this beta launch to transition my one-to-one coaching offer into a group offer, you will get audio for subconscious reprogramming while you sleep, concentrations in visualization skills building and the art of letting go of trauma and betrayal, over 20 plus lessons and videos of me teaching, money mindset pivoting training, a private community for supporting technique and assignments and future trainings, mind maps for every lesson, checklists, and co-gender training available after this prerequisite is complete. But wait, there's still more. Future trainings and collaborations are already being created. In self-awareness, nice spelling, Anthony, self-confidence, breath work, and body work. I mean, we have so much planned already that's already in the writing works that we will be busy for the next year serving this growing community. Okay, so here is a quick recap. If you're ready to start taking active control of your conscious thoughts in your head, the sensations in your body to change your perception of your life, granting you access to your natural creator states of consciousness, and ready to master your ability to get awake and stay awake, transforming every relationship in your life, ready to stop waiting and start creating, here is your chance to get the content digitally focused on accelerated results, doing this work with others on a common path to manifest the intentional reality we all want in our life. Direct coaching from me weekly on 6+ video sessions. All digital content, recording, maps, and private community available, continuing on and after the course is complete. Because working with me individually is becoming too expensive for some. But this offer is only for $498 till the end of this year for weekly Zoom calls, direct coaching to pivot and overcome beliefs sabotaging your creations. And everything is yours to download the data. And also you'll have access as we grow the database with more and more content. Everything going into the course will continue to be yours. You will get every update. So, master your creation tools and state with the mentor that's been in your shoes. Get proof for yourself and implement as fast as you choose. And that's it. I hope you received a gift from your new awareness today. So, I hope you empower yourself to click the link and enroll in the sacred intimacy path to awaken your reality. I will see you soon. Until then, my name is Anthony Cortino, the Sacred Cobra, and I leave you checking out with love and blessings. Cheers.